Alright, chat, we have returned. Let's look at the next one, which is Dub is Terlajet? Question mark. Who is 1100 Tracer. Usually my Hanzo, but lately I transitioned to Tracer as my primary main. I feel like I'm not complete garbage and have climbed about the 200 star with Tracer. I want to know what I'm still doing wrong. On all of my losses, I got trolled. So this is the best replay I could find. Let's just get to it. So now we're watching That is the legit. And up next we're going to close with Liam, who's a Diamond Reinhardt. So up next, Liam. Let's get started right away. Alright. Hanamura. The best map for Tracer, but definitely not a bad one. We're watching you. Okay, so looking at your team, I'm like, the first thing I see is that you don't have any dive tanks, right? So there are two quote-unquote main way of running Tracer, one of which is just have a main dive tank who will go in, like, hold on. They have dive tanks. I'm like, you have a dive tank who will go in first, take the attention of the enemy, and then you come in behind them, not very, like, 0.2 seconds behind them, right? No, not very far behind them. But like they come in, the enemy's attention is focused on the tank, and you can go for the backline. So you can start like here, when the tanks goes in, you can go for the backline while everyone's shooting at the tank, you can get free value and get kills. The other way, which is probably the way you're going to end up having to play, is finding isolated targets, right? People that are by themselves, not surrounded by other people, right? So in this case, Ana may be your best bet, even though she's close to Hanzo still. Ana doesn't have a lot of mobility, and the big thing you can do is wait for your team to be fighting. Like, as soon as the teams start fighting, you go for the flank, distract the Ana. Even if you don't kill her, at the very least, you are taking her away from the fight. Like, they're running Ana Mercy, right? So removing the Ana means that now they have no healing, only the Mercy healing, which is very low. Just 50 per second. So even if you don't manage to kill the Ana, going at the Ana while your teams are fighting is going to remove the Ana from the fight temporarily. So those are the two big ways to play Tracer. Tracer is a very complex character, like, you know, everyone says Tracer is the most skill. She's got the highest skill ceiling. Like, you can literally kill everything with Tracer. But it doesn't just apply to Ana. If they have like a McCree, and you do the McCree from a safe range, then you're fine, as long as you're far away that he can stun you, you're distracting the McCree and he will not get value on your front line. They have a Hanzo, same thing, you go and do the Hanzo, and it's actually even better for you because you can get a little bit closer, he doesn't have a stun like McCree, and you can distract the Hanzo and he doesn't get back value on your front line. And if you find someone who is truly isolated, like, I don't know, maybe the Hanzo is playing here, and the rest of the team is where they are right now, so you can flank for the Hanzo, who's by himself, take our 1v1, like an actual 1v1, and Tracer will win most 1v1s if you play them correctly. As said, let's see how you play Tracer. You get shot by the Hanzo immediately, you have to recall. Yeah, you have to recall, sorry. I don't know what you're doing playing with your team. I guess you were trying to go for this. But by the way, you can, like, rather than expose yourself, I don't know why people go left. Going left just makes you exposed to this and this. Just go right, like this goes at everyone. Just go through the right. It goes cover everywhere. Like the only time they can see you is when you hit here. And even here it's like a very tiny choke, so they'll usually hit your tanks first. And they don't get to shoot at you from the window either until, like, yeah. But also what I was going to say is that for you in particular, you can come down this way, then go up. If your idea is to blink, then you can come here and you can either blink from here behind them or from here to the window, or just blink across and then blink to the window. But yeah, just going this way is safer. That's what I'm getting at. Especially if your team is going this way, right? Don't go with your team, Tracer is a flanker, blah blah blah. You do go for the window, the idea is good. Here's the problem though. Remember what I said about waiting until your team is engaging? There is a reason why I said that. It's not. I'm not just telling you, hey, distract them, so that you can distract someone. They get no value in the fight. But here's the big issue: if you go too early, then they can just invest a lot of resources on you, and you are either going to die or be forced to get out. Because you're going early, the is just like, oh, I don't have to build for my Ana yet. I don't have to have my main tank yet. I can just take care of the Tracer, and Tracer is forced away. And yeah, there you go. You have to recall, and you get very little value. Like, your team is not fighting yet. They are only now kinda have started to fight. Like, we just put the shield down, we use our powers. And you have already used your best cooldown. Great shot from your Makritha. But see how you got very little value because the D.Va can just chase you out? And now you're just kinda forced to go with your team. Okay, you go behind them, which is solid. Wrecking Ball is AFK. Okay, well, we don't count that kill. This does not count. I appreciate that at least you found and killed the Wrecking Ball who was AFK there. And you clean up on the D.Va. This counts. This one counts. Be careful because Baby D.Va is actually kind of difficult to kill if you are not decent at aiming. Which I don't know if you are not or yet. I haven't seen enough of your gameplay. It looks like you're kinda okay for your rank. Like, I would say probably your rank average. No, actually, if you're in bronze, this is decent aim for bronze. And decent is more than average. It's a little bit like I usually rank people on good, like decent. Okay, being the average. Good, decent, okay, alright. Which is lower than average, and then bad. So right now you're decent. Which is like a B. Okay, I don't think you meant to hit that high ground, yep. You do need to kind of learn your maps a little bit more if you're going to play Tracer. Knowing where to blink around is very important. So here, just drop. Instead of just trying to blink in, just drop, then blink in. You're doing want to fight anyway, so. You do the blow, which is okay. Like I said, Tracer can take most 1v1s and be fine. Especially because, you know, you can just... okay, that was a very long voice line from Marisa. You can just get out because you are Mary Bomal, get a health pack and get back in. That's a big advantage with Tracer. Any 1v1, if you are losing, you get out, you take a health pack and you come back in. And all it takes you is 2 of your 3 blinks, and you're basically where you start. Unlucky, can we rest that? If you can get the rest from that, it may actually be a very winnable fight. No, we're not going for it. So again, don't go in by yourself. Remember what I said about not going in by yourself, because the enemy can just turn around and deal with you? Yeah, this is what's happening right here. It looks like we're going for a pulse bomb on the... Yep, you do miss the pulse bomb, which isn't very good. D.Va does fly into it, but you don't get any value from it. And it's not only because you went in by yourself, right? Like, I think you hit the ball, not the D.Va actually. Like, he's missing a lot of health. But I'm like, even if you go, let's just say you stuck the ball, right? You did 350 damage. That's alright, but your team is not in a position to actually capitalize on that. Like, Hanamura is not back. We can't really push with Hanamura. We have no healing. Like, your Sarah is very low. Your Orisa is getting pressure. So don't go in by yourself. Just wait. Like, this is not bad. Like, you did some damage to Hanzo. You're trying to kill him. You barely don't manage. You could have meleeed him there and killed him. You do go for the minion, which is definitely the right call. You cannot deny the rest. You have to be really good to deny the rest. Like, it's very difficult. But your Macri just kills something. We just won this, right? We just go, win. There's a tie up here. You kill Jangrat. Like, your aim is decent. Your aim is not terrible. You're not hitting a lot of headshots, which is important sometimes, but... Like, this is solid. Now kill Diana. Just kill Diana. You don't need to recall. Like, what are you recalling out of? Full health? Like, your aim is not bad. You have full health. You have full health. Don't recall out for no reason. It is a very long cooldown and it is your best cooldown. You could have just killed Diana instead. But this should be a 1-5. Even though you didn't see the trap, even though you got trapped. Imagine if you had recalled now, by the way, you could have just recalled out of the freeze and been fine. Here you're probably dead. Never mind, you get saved by the Orisa shield. Thank you, Orisa, for not being dead. And you just take a D.Va bomb to the face. Is this how we lose the point? Yeah, we just lose this point because D.Va bomb to the face. Don't come back, by the way, your team is dead. Don't go right back in, please. You can just set up a new fight. Okay, I appreciate that you're waiting for a new fight. By the way, if you want to go for a flank, you can make this jump. You can go from here, just blink, and you can come this way and go for this flank. It's really good because then you don't have to be on main. Like, being with your team just means that you are doing kind of like a soldier, but with less damage. And again, you're going too early, like way too early. I get that maybe you want to clear space. So, like, what I mean is, maybe the Junkrat is here, right? So you go in, you take the 1v1 versus the Junkrat early, and this is okay. Taking the 1v1 early is okay, because you are not actually going into their team, right? So, and Junkrat is a weird one, because he's got a lot of spam, maybe not the best idea, but let's just say it works, right? Let's just say you don't kill the Junkrat, because that would require a lot of commitment, like the Junkrat probably goes back, you would have to chase him into his team, and etc. But you get the Junkrat to give you the position, and now you have this position. So taking the 1v1s early is not bad, but don't just go into the enemy team. Both tanks are here, the Brick is coming, the Iron is coming, and the Junkrat can get here very easily. Because at this point you are just taking a fight, and they may just kill you outright, because your best advantage is usually that 1v1. They don't have a way to punish you because you have really good mobility. But if you are forced to recall and you don't get far away enough, then both Wrecking Ball and D.Va have a lot of range. Maybe they have a CC, like a freeze, they can counter you. Maybe they can just one-shot you outright. So it's just, don't go for this play just yet. And I appreciate that you do go out, because your team is not ready. Like, your team is, again, just coming back. No reason to go back in. Like, I get maybe you want to clear this position, and I will say at least now it's a 1v1, but D.Va is not a great one to 1v1. Use recall, okay, you do recall. And you see why D.Va is not that good to 1v1, she's got good mobility, she's got a lot of armor, which halves your damage, by the way. Armor actually halves your damage. So it's just really not good. Even if you hit all headshots, it's still the same damage. So you have to be really careful about dueling people with tanks. Like, if you find a tank with no armor, like, I don't know, they have a Rothog, or just a monkey who lost his armor in the fight, you can go at them, because you do, like, a lot of damage when you hit, like, the Tracer does 140 damage per clip. 408 if you can hit all headshots. It's a lot of damage, but it's half against armor. You go for the pulse bomb. You don't go for the pulse bomb, actually. You just do damage to the Ana. I like this. You recall out, but look how low this Ana is. 32 HP. And this time, at least, like, your 1v1 versus the D.Va meant that you bought enough time for your team to actually push in. Not you bought enough time, but enough time happened, enough time passed that your team is actually pushing in. When you go in. Right, you go in, and your Orisa is here, and your Zarya got walled off, but she tried to push. And you recall, and you got value out of your recall. And then you just get deleted because Junkrat, which is unfortunate. Again, though, I would have liked for you to, like, actually have the time to set up properly and go when your team is going. It kinda, sorta ended up working at a similar time in the end, but you had already used like a few of your cooldowns, and yeah. You didn't get the best position either because you had been dueling the D.Va. The D.Va was looking at you, so you couldn't use Pulse Bomb because she could have eaten it. Your team just kills 3 people. You kill the jungler at least. You don't kill the jungler yet. Why did you blink onto the trap? You're just dead, by the way. You literally just, yeah, like Jenkins said, you literally just stepped in it. First, how do you not kill this Junkrat? You just missed half of your clip. Unfortunate, but happens. And then you literally blink into the trap below you. Just blink again, just recall out. You don't want to land in this, just blink again, recall out, throw your pulse from whatever you want. But you end up landing on the trap and just dead. This is a reset. Your team's kinda committing, but 2 people down is just a reset on 2CP. Even one person even one person down can just be a reset in 2CP. Big thing up coming up, grab push, it's a really good combo. And they don't have anything to block it. Like, it's not like they have a Zarya bubble, or maybe a shield, or whatever. I think you're trying to get Zarya to do it. You pressure the break. Remember, armor is half your damage. So this is one of the reasons why break is so good against Tracer. You need an extra 50 damage to kill her. Which puts her at, if you hit all body shots, out of your range. You can no longer kill her with a single clip. Unless you hit headshots, but also you are not going to hit every shot. She should die to you though. Good kill between you and Zarya, you kill them. Zarya, please grab it. At this point we don't even need it anymore, we killed 2 people. Like, yeah, we killed 3 people. Your Zarya gets slept, but it's fine. We killed so many people. You mistimed that, and you die. Everyone dies. We didn't have any bubbles, we didn't have a shield. Everyone just dies to the bomb. But you personally mistimed that. The D.Va bomb takes 3 seconds exactly to explode. So if you want to avoid it with the recall, you should use it. Not yet. Not yet. Now. Now you should be starting the recall. And it's ending. And it just catches you. Boom. Unlucky, but we ended up going for grab pulls and never used it. We ended up mistiming our recall and they just, didn't go too well. This is the one time, by the way, where I think you actually went in with your team and you guys managed to kill 3 people and then everyone just died to a D.Va bomb. But you managed to kill 3 people just by going in with your team. Like, you killed Brigitte, you helped kill Diana, right? You did pretty okay. Okay, we are going in with your team. I like this. Is it ideal? No, you should be coming from a different angle. But even then, I like that at least you're going at the same time. When I say you should go with your team, I don't mean physically with your team. I mean just timing. When your team was pushing this way and you came from that, that's exactly what I want. Just don't take a 1v1 versus D.Va first. At least don't go into their team first. Pressure D.Va, pressure D.Va, pressure D.Va. We kill Junkrat. You see how good it is to go with your team? We already killed 2 of them. Just without using any ultimates, we killed 2 people. Just because 4 of us got together and pushed the high ground. Zarya dies because she gets killed by the thingies. The mines from Junkrat, explosive mayhem. I think it's explosive mayhem, but these can be resurrected if you kill them. They just nano baby D.Va. Okay. Don't let her remake, I'll say that. Like, the remake is... Oh wait, this is from before the remake patch, so you don't have to worry about it. Where are you going? Just kill the baby diva. Your Mercy was right there for the rest. No, she's with the Orisa now. Is she not with you guys? No, I guess not. I thought the Mercy was with you. Still, this is... Oh, thank you for the raid. Wow. Thank you, Ralph. Thank you for the follow-up. APY. Okay. We're back! Yes! I remember you guys. You mean Tom Hardy, clearly. Tom Hardy. Is that I do love cats. Is that a Ralph emote? Yeah, it's a Ralph emote. That Ralph has got really good emote choices. Okay, let's continue. We are watching actually this is a Bronze Tracer. I forgot to change the thing. This is a 1100 Tracer player. So that's what we're watching. And the big thing thus far is that you're basically just 1v1ing everything by yourself. That's Peggy. Is it his pet? That's adorable. That's a very cute pet. Okay, so you go for the N again. Just help your team kill the baby diva. Oh, that's Peggy, the dog. I see. Okay. Nope, that's not you. This is you. You go for the Ana. You've had this grab pulse bomb for 3 fights now. And you guys really want to use it, but you basically won every fight before having to use it, and then threw it. To a diva bomb, to whatever, but just use it at this point. Just use it, please. Good. You almost killed yourself. You don't get the May, but you use it again. You kind of just screwed up the timing a little bit. May's ice block lasts 5 seconds, and you just use it, so it will be 2, 3, 4, 1 more second, and you would have gotten them. Thank you for the follows. Orchid Flower and the Didas. Right. I think, yeah, you still do damage. You're just far away enough that it doesn't just one-shot her. You almost one-shot yourself, though. Be careful with the range. May should die. Recall out, recall out, recall out, recall out, recall out, recall out, recall out! Please recall out. The Blizzard does damage, which I believe is... Actually, let's check how much damage Blizzard does. May Gamepedia. Hold on. I just want to see how much damage Blizzard does. This is not something that comes up very often, but I wanted to see. It does 20 damage per second. 20 damage per second when you're at 14 HP is bad. 14? Sorry. 14, 21 HP. Just recall out! Please recall out. Realth is back. Here's just recall out. I'm like... if you're playing Tracer and you die without using recall, you better have gotten one shot, right? Like a shot to the face, or a Macristan headshot, or a May headshot. That's the only situation where you can die and not have used recall. Because this is just bad, just recall out. Like, you kill the May, you stay long enough to make sure the May dies, which I am actually okay with you staying until the May. It's just, please, recall. You can tell that you're taking damage, just recall. You try to blink away from the Blizzard, just recall. Please don't tell me we lose this fight. Do we actually lose this fight? Okay, we don't. We finally used the grab. We had it for like 4 fights now. That's not on you, that's on the Zarya. And you go for this flank, which I told you could use earlier. So you know that you can take this flank, you have just never taken it. Just take the flank more often. It's really good to set you up when your team is pushing either the high ground or mid. You can set up for a flank over this way. Because again, ideally when your team engages, you just go in. Like, as soon as the team hits each other, you go in. Because the enemy team is going to be distracted by your team. Or if someone goes for you, then you're taking them away from this fight, making it effectively a 5v5. And if you 2 people turn to look at you, then this becomes a 4v5. And it's very difficult to kill a Tracer. So you can just take this 1v2 for a very long time, then get out or recall out, get the health back in, and your team should win this 4v5. That said, you've been playing pretty decent. You should have recalled out of the Blizzard for sure, and you've made some mistakes for sure. But overall, it's not too bad. Like, I feel like this should be better on average for bronze. Maybe you kinda screw up on the defense?
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
So they have a Pharah, I just saw the rocket up here. Why are you standing still again? Okay. You kinda go for the window on the Pharah, just don't get too shot please. Recall out or get the health back. Here getting the health back is fine. You know what? You get value, you pressure the Pharah, you don't die. I think you start getting out after... Let me double check. I think you start getting out after the first rocket, which is ideal, because Pharah, like I said, she cannot one-shot you, right? If someone can one-shot you, that's danger, but Pharah cannot one-shot you. You take one rocket, not even directly, just the splash damage, and you just blink away. You almost died to the second one, by the way, it just didn't do enough damage. But you just managed to get away, you get the health back, and you are back in the fight. And your pressure on the Pharah leads to the Pharah dying, which is solid. A solid job. Don't worry about Wrecking Ball. Yeah, Baptiste a better choice. Good job. Don't overextend. This is overextending, but you have recall, and they cannot really one-shot you. So long as this little adventure of your, and by adventure I mean, you know, dropping from the high ground. So long as this lasts under 3 seconds, you can recall out, because recall takes you 3 seconds back in time. So this I'm okay with this. You want to pressure, like, you got the Baptiste really low, he's Baptiste, so he's not going to die, but you wanted to chase him, you are doing damage. So long as you don't overstay your welcome and manage to get out with recall, this is fine. And look at that, that's okay. You kill the Baptiste, there is a Ana right here with 1 HP, so I don't know why you're turned back to the Diva. But you go back safe, you almost died, but you end up just running away, which I would rather you have killed the Ana. Like, everyone was actually so low here. Like, if I look at this, I'm like, oh, Baptiste is dead. I can see the Ana in there, I'm going to go for the Ana. Don't go for the Diva, and you actually turn to look at the Diva, and face the Diva as well. Just go for the Ana, you went into her line of fire. You kinda shoot at them, but your Orisa dies, and then your McCree dies, and you could have prevented this if you were with your team still. This is the one time where I'm like, everyone was on HP. Diana just naded and they managed to kill this. If you had killed Diana faster, your team would have been safe, right? Your Orisa would not have died, your McCree would not have died. So, just if you see someone at literally 1 HP, just kill them. You're really good. Let's leave that aside. Good mechanics killing the Baptiste. You pressure the Baptiste first. Let's go in order. You pressure the Pharah, we managed to kill the Pharah. You go back, you get the health back, you come back, pressure the Baptiste, force him away, then we kill the Baptiste. Solid. Then you kinda just end up running away and make a safe rotation to get the health back, which is not against. Like, if you're running away, then going to get the health back is fine. Really good hook, and we managed to hold, looks like. Yeah, definitely managed to hold. So solid. Dueling, like, this is fine. Dueling the Wrecking Ball at this range is fine. You are just trying to mark him and get all charged. This is a little risky, but they do have a McCree, but they don't have anyone on this high ground yet, so I'm okay with it. Careful about the McCree. And again, the big thing here is that if you are planning to drop, which I would not recommend dropping, also, hey, I would not recommend dropping, but if you are going to drop, you have to make sure you are far away enough from the McCree that he's not just going to stun you. There's a Wrecking Ball, you go for the Junkrat. I'm not against this. Remember what I said about taking isolated 1v1s? It's fine to take isolated 1v1s before the fight actually breaks out. Because with Tracer, you can win most of them. So I'm actually okay with this one. You reload, you shoot, and you kill him. Don't walk into the trap, but you should kill him. Great job! That's actually really solid. Just request that bot. Love your way of coaching. Can wait. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't have that many on the queue right now. I think there's only like 2 after this one. They'll probably not today, probably on Tuesday. You break the trap, you recall out, and you go away. You just got 1 kill, so you blink away. Just go away, that's fine. That was actually really good. Really good. Also, welcome to the Discord server, Appy. Appy, is that how you pronounce it? Appy? Appy? I'm sorry. Oh. Pie? Is that the joke? It's like happy. Happy. It's a math problem. Gotcha. Maybe I don't know a lot of math terms in English, I'm sorry. I know a lot of math terms in Spanish. Pretend I wrote an actual word. I'm actually okay with this idea of yours of waiting for the enemy, like I said, to kind of focus on your team, dropping behind them, find someone you can take a 1v1 with, and going for it. Like I said, this is really good. Like this Baptiste. You are going out of this. He already used the region. He's away from the team, right? Like, yeah, he's in the outside of the Ana for healing. 100% the shield. Oh, gotcha. So it's like a finance thing, not a math thing. Anywho, back to Overwatch. I like this. You did get a little too close. Don't worry, I like bantering. You got a little too close, but this is fine. Like, again, taking a 1v1 duel against anyone is okay. Careful though, now it's no longer a 1v1, you should get out. Now they've got the Wrecking Ball. Just blink away. Oh. There you go. Recall and blink away. Just get out, get out, get out. Don't go back in, you don't have recall. You kinda try to go for Diana. It's the right idea, but now that you don't have recall, you don't have an easy way out, so you may get killed for this. They don't punish you, which is, fine. Then you go back in, and he doesn't dodge the... Like, he actually just walks. He walks into that pulse bomb. You almost managed to kill Diana, which is solid. And you're, at the very least, again, your team is fighting. This is really good idea of, I go in, but my team is fighting, I try to get value on the backline. Another team has no healing because I've got both supports here with me. Right? Both of them are right here with you. So even though you may not be able to kill them, you already got your value this fight. Value, right? You got the value, like, from here, you're about to start getting value. Like, right now, you're distracting Baptiste, distracting Baptiste, distracting Baptiste. Baptiste distracted, Baptiste distracted. Ana is backing out, right, because of coalescence. With the support distracted, we killed Mag 3, and we're going to kill Diva 2. Maybe no, but maybe yes. Anywho, doesn't matter. You distracted supports, they have no healing. They just die. And of course, you killed the Junkrat very early on, so Junkrat is only now coming back. So this was actually a really good fight for me. Like, Diana just barely doesn't die. And because you're restarting the supports, the Wrecking Ball gets no healing, and he also dies. And it's like, you're doing a good job. This 2v1 is really good. If it is already won, like we just got 2 kills, you don't really need to use the pulse bomb. And even if you did, you need to use the pulse bomb. This is not a very good pulse bomb. But it's like the Baptiste just jumps into it. So, did you get a little lucky there? Yes, but it's fine. And then you just get out and get healed. So that fight was actually really good. I really liked that idea. When the enemy team was pushing forward to your team, you went for the 1v1. You won the 1v1, which is solid. Like I said, good job. Then you got out, you reset, you went back in for the Baptiste, you distracted the Baptiste, you forced him in, you distracted Diana as well. While you had both supports distracted, the rest of your team just won the fight. Then you used pulse from you didn't have to. And you got out. So I love that. With that said, why are you on main now? The flank worked out really well, so why did you come back to main? Do they just roll you? Or do you just full hold them? So you do go for a flank again. Another big thing, like I said earlier, McCree's a 1v1 you can take, but stay out of the range of his flashbang, unless you know he's got no flashbang. In this case, he has his flashbang. I would always assume he has his flashbang, unless you see him use it or someone in your team tells you McCree no flash. You could just kill this McCree, like, he is 150 HP, you could just kill this McCree. You know what? I like this. You aim for the head. Aim for the head just in case, but good kill. Even though he used tire, you kill him. We can, like, they're actually solo, you can kill them all. Go for Diana, go for Diana. You missed so much. I think you got too close. I think you got too close and that threw off your aim. At mid-range, your aim is pretty solid. I think that you got too close and that kind of screwed up your aim. You wait for the high noon, then you go on Diana, right? And like, before the blink, like, this is not a bad range to shoot for Tracer. This is not a terrible range to shoot for Tracer, just shoot at Diana and you can go blinking after. Instead, you end up getting so close. Do you think it could be too high of a sense? Maybe? I feel like rather than a high sense though is just way too close as well. But it might just be high sense, but like doing the Jungler 1v1, which is the one that I was looking at for the fight, it didn't look like a high sense. I can check again. My sense is actually really low. Oh, is that you in the chat? The booster jet. I didn't feel like you had high sense. Like, you are not overcorrecting all the time, right? You are not overcorrecting. I don't, like, this doesn't scream to me high sense. You are not overcorrecting all the time. I think you just got too close. Yeah. I don't think your sense is high. I think your sense is fine. I think you just got... Wait, where do you go for the jackpot? I need about half the mouse for 360. That is actually a little high. But not like overly high. It's okay. It's okay. Usually the quote-unquote best way of at least tuning out your sense is your mousepad should be a full 360. Like from here to here, it's a 360. So that if you're here, it's a 180 either way. That's the idea. But you just play with whatever feels comfortable, so long as it's not causing you to overcorrect yourself a lot. Like, you will be able to tell if you are overcorrecting because you will do this. And then this, and then this, and then this, right? You would never be able to find like what you want to shoot at. So I'm like, I think your sense is fine. Is it high? Maybe it is a little high. But even if it is a little high, you seem used enough to it that it is not causing you to always overcorrect. I think you just got too close. Yeah, I think you just got too close, which made your aim worse. Because close, right? The big thing with being this close is that every single step Diana takes means that you've got to move your mouse a lot more. So you are overcorrecting at this range. Like at this range, yes. At this range, you are overcorrecting. Like you can see that. You try to go for Diana, you overcorrect. That's pretty solid sense, by the way. Thank you for the following. Liastar? Liastar. Because dollars. At this range, you are overcorrecting, but I don't think it's a sense issue. I think it's just that you are too close and you are not used to being this close issue. You do manage to get the kill though, which is solid, but you can see how at this range you are actually over... Am I on 20, by the way? No, I'm on 10. All of that happened in 10 seconds. Like, you can see how at this range you are overcorrecting, but I feel you just got too close. Because at this range, it's definitely harder to aim. What I was saying is, at this range, this single step from Diana means you got to move your mouse that much more. Whereas if you were still like here on the choke, this single step from Diana means you got to move your mouse this. So it's a lot easier to aim so long as you are, again, within range. But not as literally so close to be on top of them. Because this is just a little too close and you are just like kinda overcorrecting and trying to follow, and you are just kind of making a mess of your aim. You end up killing her though. We kill the Baptiste, and we just win this fight. And again, you kill like 4 people that fight, so your flanks are working out pretty well. The big thing is that on defense, right? Unlike offense, you don't have to wait for your team to push. You can just wait for the enemy team to push and go for the people that are isolated. So it's a lot easier to time your fights because you can see where the enemy team is going and plan around it rather than having to wait for your actual team to push. So you can get a lot more value playing a more solo style, right? On defense than on offense because, well, you can just wait on the flank until you have the perfect opportunity rather than having to wait for your team to create one or help create one for your team. But this does get repetitive. Don't always go for the same thing because the enemy team will expect it more and more. At least at higher ranks, like the higher you go, the more the enemy team will expect it. But this is, again, like the enemy team is pushing, and this is an isolated target. Tracer is really, really good at taking out isolated targets. Well, dive in general, but Tracer is really good at 1v1s against isolated targets. So you just kill this Baptiste. There's no, I don't think it's a matter of overcorrecting. You are overcorrecting a little bit the closer you get, but I don't think it's overcorrecting. You force the emo out, we kill 3 people, again, you force the Baptiste and the McCree back. So, overall, you're getting a ton of value on defense. On offense, you are not getting as much value. Like, yeah, you break the emo, you break the Baptiste, you break the McCree. Break the McCree. You break the McCree, good job. And you stayed out of flashbang range. I don't think I'm looking at an 1100 Tracer. I would say you are at least like 1700 or higher. I think you will do okay in goal if you just fix your problem of, well, wait for your team to create an opportunity because you are just kind of going in by yourself and either getting picked or getting little value because the enemy can just counter you pretty easily. I feel like your Tracer is pretty solid. Your aim is fine. I think if I follow the lemons, your aim is definitely fine. Like, the aim is not the problem. At least when you get really close, you start overcorrecting a little bit. But that's just the fact of you got too close and you are not used to shooting at that range yet. Because again, like, if you want to shoot something at this range and they move, you have to move your mouse a lot more. Where if you want to shoot something at this range and they move one step, it's only this. So I feel you're just not used to shooting at that close range. But your mechanics are okay. You should probably practice your blink a little bit more, like in general, in maps in general. Just blink around, play a quick play game, explore the map, figure out where you can be, all of that. It's fun. Just blinking around the map with Tracer is fun. And other than that, you've been pretty solid. Like, the biggest thing again is just the timing of your fighting. You don't really just die. Yeah, I did right. You're just going in very early sometimes against the entire enemy team. Like I said, 1v1s are fine, because 1v1s basically mean your team is fighting a 5v5, so it's fine. And so long as it's an isolated target, it's just a 1v1. But if you go into like a 1v2 or more, you have to make sure your teams are fighting at the same time, because otherwise you're just going to lose this 1v2. Unless you're like a gold lead Tracer that can just kill 3 people by yourself. You're going for the same flank again, by the way. Which I would expect them to already know you're here. You even shot at the div a little bit. You got too close to that Junkrat. Remember what I said about keeping your range against people? I don't think I said keep your range against McCree because, you know, you have decent range and he's got the flashbang. The same goes for Junkrat. If you get too close, he just uses the mine. If you stay a little bit further away, you can dodge them with blinks. So you're forced to recall out. And this is not a bad range for you, by the way. This range is not bad for Tracer. So you could just kill him from this range. Something I should show you after this is done is the actual range of Tracer. That's... If you had gone in, you could have pulsed this. That was a great pull from Orisa. Hold on, look at this. I did not expect it, but when I saw it coming, I was like, please go at it. Like, look at this. What's that? It's an Orisa pull. Just blink in. A single blink, throw your pulse bomb at this, because you know that it's pulling 2 people, and recall out, and you have 2 free kills. Maybe they say they get saved by the... Do they have the emo? They have the emo. So maybe you don't kill them because of the emo. But that would be such a good play, man.
30 seconds remaining.
I think you go for it, you were just a little late. You actually go for the kill, not even the pulse bomb. He was close enough to kill him with a melee. You just missed the melee. Jagger wasn't low enough to kill him with a melee. You just missed the melee. And Orisa kills him anyway. Careful with the trap, but other than that, you should be fine. The trap is right there, you can see it. Okay, you dodge it. This is a great pulse bomb. Just throw your pulse bomb. Just throw it out. Okay, good job. You stick your recall. And you get out. Good kill, get out. You are technically in front of the spawn, so just get out. Good engagement. You help kill the Baptiste. You help kill the Jangrat. It's last fight. Just get out. Don't risk your life. Careful about the trap. It's still right there. You're going to die. You don't die by miracle. Just get out right away. Don't be in the middle of the enemy team, remember. You don't want to end up taking like a 1v3. You want to just go in, do damage, and get out. Or go in, kill someone, throw the pulse bomb, and get out. Or just get out this way even. You get healed. And this just looks like you guys win, yeah? And again, because it was such a good game for you on defense, there's not really that many problems against bot, but we still prove like timing is a big issue on the offense. You didn't even full cap second. Pressuring, like, don't be in front of the entire enemy team. I know you're going for the diva, but yeah, they can't just kill you. At this point, you're probably just overconfident, and you know they're not gonna touch. So, okay, let's take a short break, 3 minutes, and we'll do one more for the day. But yeah, the big things for you are definitely, like I explained earlier, just go for a flank when your team is going in. Because when the team fights are happening, you can go in and distract someone and maybe even kill them. And it's not like you're leaving your team one down. Because what's happening is sometimes you're going in, right? And you're distracting someone, but then you have to get out. You don't manage to get a kill because, you know, the team fights are not happening, so they just use resources and everyone helps them. And oh yeah, I will show the range. But just distracting someone doesn't work that well when the team fight is not happening, because you know 2 or 3 people just put your attention on you and you have to get out and you get no value, and then your team pushes and you're out of the fight for a little bit. So you're leaving your team 5v6 instead of creating a 5v5 with a 1v1 you can win. Or, you know, a 1v2 and your team has a 5v4, which they can win. And with Tracer, you can survive for a very long time. Okay, let's go for the practice range, because, like I said, you don't have to get that close, and I just want to show you the range where Tracer is still very effective. So, Tracer. So what you did there is, like I said, you got this close, which means that being this close, if someone takes 1 step, you have to move your mouse all of that way, right? Whereas if you're over here, like, right, 7 meters, I think this is ideal range for Tracer, right? 7 meters, because, you know, if someone moves a step, it's like tiny bit. You can, of course, still one-shot them. But the thing to take into account is that Tracer can still one-clip people from like 12 meters away. Right? You don't have to be much closer than this to one-clip people. And I'm hitting mostly just body shots, by the way. At this range, you still have max damage. Like, Tracer's range is 12 meters. Up to 12 meters. So, anything up to here, you can still one-shot people very easily. And shooting at the head is double damage. Tracer does 240 damage, like I said earlier, for 80. This should be for 80 if you hit headshots. So, you can be at this range and still one-shot people. just by getting body shots. So it's like, really, she's got this range advantage on a lot of people. Like McCree, yeah, McCree's really good at this range, but McCree's best damage is 140 if he gets a direct headshot. So he still has to double tap you or triple tap you with no headshot. So to McCree, you're basically the same as any other DPS, so long as you keep your range. If you get closer, then the flashbang does 30 or 25 damage, and this means that a single 140 headshot can kill you. But so long as you keep those numbers into account, you can still play at least like this range against McCree and be like, okay, hello McCree. Oh, what do you mean you can't do anything to me? Right? Because at this range, at like the 12-meter range, you still got the potential to one-shot someone by hitting only body shots. I don't do it diagonally. Like diagonally is a little bit more. That's why that didn't got a kill. But yeah. Still like almost a one-shot from this range, and then you just go for the melee kill. But like 12 meters is still a one clip for Tracer. So you can be at this range and be good. You can be at this range, and I think this is ideal for aim purposes alone. I feel like this is easiest to aim with Tracer. It varies person to person, of course, but I feel like around this head, like 8 meters, 7 meter range is best. But like closer than 5 just means that it's harder because they dodge and you have to just keep track of them and be like, and they move a lot more in your screen. As from this range, they move less on your screen. And from this 10 meter range, they almost don't move in your screen. Okay, that was basically just it. What else did I say? Oh yeah, I wanted to show you one more thing, which is armor, right? This is what I meant during the thing when I said armor targets actually take half damage from your shots. If I shoot at Diva's leg, you can see that they only did like 120 damage. So it's only like 60 damage per second, considering, well, Tracer has a cycle of 1 second shoot, 1 second reload, 1 second shoot, 1 second reload, 1 second shoot, 1 second reload. So she only does, like she does, like I said earlier, 240, but damage per second is half because then you do 0. But yeah, like against the tank, you only do half damage. Even hitting all headshots is still 240. But yeah, just be careful about people with armor, because it can halve your damage. But if someone doesn't have any armor, like if your team got Diva to be like very low in armor, you can just go for it anyway. Because at that point it's just like, yeah, free kill. Okay, let's take a 3-minute break. But hopefully that was helpful. I'll be right back, chat.